Welcome to another episode of Full Circle with me, Onyx. And I guess maybe this will just be one of I call them talk sessions, where I just kind of talk and reflect and share about my experience, what's going on. So, one of my clients who wanted like magical protection, she basically threw a temper tantrum and like kind of disappeared. I had to block her. And so obviously she wasn't ready to dive into reality, into looking at her own shadow material. She still wants to be a victim. And so the universe keeps giving her victimhood. And the reality of it is she needs to go see a doctor, get her hormones in check, and maybe go to a counselor to help her realize she's a victim of her own paranoia, her own fears, and her body is reacting to the way she thinks and feels. Your body is objective. So if you're living in fear, if you're living in stress and anxiety, the chemicals of survival are pumping through your veins, wearing you out. There's a point where your body goes, okay, I'm trapped and there's no way out. The only solution is to die and start the video over again. So I could foresee where she was going. I could see that her body wants to quit. Her body is being abused by the driver, her. And, you know, she couldn't handle that reality. So she got aggressive. And if you come to someone and ask for their help, and they're giving you their help in their own style, in their own wisdom, and you reject what you just asked for, you're very rude. But isn't that kind of what the Western mindset does? It says, give it to me now, give it to me the way I want it, you know, tell me only good things, tell me what I want to hear, do what I want you to do. That's not how reality works. Apparently, she even tried praying to God, angels, with that same childish, demanding attitude. And of course, the angels don't listen to that. God doesn't listen to that. So, I've been helping her, suggesting to her that she's a goddess, that she's standing in her own power. Quit giving your energy away. Quit focusing on what you don't want. Realize your fear is an illusion. It's a prayer for what you don't want, and you get what you ask for because every word is a prayer. So, this is failure to take accountability for your thoughts, your feelings, and how you interact with other people in the world. So we get someone who doesn't, for a lot of people, they need to study spirituality because it's like a different language to go to work, be a mom, or a dad, or a scientist, or an accountant. Spirituality is like a different language. The universe is constructed differently. And so to get these metaphysical concepts, you might want to read a few books. You might want to watch some YouTube videos. And you might want to go get your feet wet and practice, you know, practice really casting a spell, practice really praying to God, practice autonomic handwriting. I don't know, you know, see what works for you. So you have to test yourself out in the world. How do I interact with the universe? What works for me, what doesn't work for me? So it's dangerous. So, hindsight, looking backwards through years of development, it's dangerous just to go astral project because you watched a YouTube video on it and someone was telling you they know how to do it. It's dangerous to go take plant medicine in someone's garage uh, just because they're a self-proclaimed shaman or therapist and they're gonna rebirth you or something like that. You might want to slow down, you know, and do something more mild. Uh, take your time, figure out who you are, build a relationship with God, build a relationship with the earth. Um, so that's kind of my reflections on this person who is basically now screaming down the street that she's being psychically attacked by a magical wizard, and it's all fiction. It's all for attention, and she can't tell the difference anymore. Once you get so far into your PTSD, once you get so far into your anxiety, once you believe there's people out to get you and aliens and monsters, you're beyond help. You now need to be probably medically sedated. It's like getting a cold slap across the face to bring you back to center. That's what she needs. She needs like a foghorn blasting her in her face. And it's actually a really sad situation. But guess what? This happens to a lot of love bombing New Agers who want to also um, be eclectic and universal in their modalities and, play with the Ouija board, then pray to Jesus, and then go snort hape, you know, and then join a witch's coven on the weekend because you're bored, but then go sing Love and Light somewhere in a prayer circle. You're you're playing in a lot of things. You're mixing a lot of colors, and everyone knows when you mix all the colors together, it makes brown, not black. It makes brown. So you get dirty and you mess up the shaman's roadmap of navigating inner space and outer space and multi dimensions. And a lot of this, so number one, a shaman is a map maker of the unknown, and they use signs and symbols based on their inner quest to navigate these realms. One system is Enochian magic with the 30 ethers. Another system, another traditional shamanic roadmap that literally started with a bunch of guys sitting at the side of a mountain looking into a fire. People don't realize this. The Kabbalah, the tree of life, had a lot to do with using inner vision and fire magic to navigate these realms. But the tree of life, with its 10 spheres and 22 paths, is a shaman's roadmap of a certain culture and lineage with a certain mindset. We have a modern shaman's map called the tarot deck, with its high cards and low cards, its numbers and its four elements. It becomes a roadmap. And when you don't understand the territory, you use a map. And when you don't understand the map, you get lost. So shamans have always been exploring the unknown in this dimension and in that dimension. They straddle two realities in balance. The language of a mystic is not exactly literal, but it's transcendent, it's transcendental. And it pretty much requires the mind of a mystic to unlock it. Or once you work with the language, the symbols are still language. Once you work with it long enough, it could automatically unlock in you, like a mantra could unlock an awakening, an enlightenment, a tone, a sound, a color. Mystics and occultists have known this. So an occultist is not exactly a mystic. They're more leaning towards science. They're looking at the mystical experiences and codifying them and formulating them into something repeatable to then guide them, not exactly guide the masses through, but at least create that again, that experience, that moment, open that doorway. So the mystic, a lot of times, accidentally opens a door. You know, maybe they were tired and fatigued, worn out, thirsty. They sat on a rock, looked into the fire, and they started scrying visions. And they were of the future, and they saw visions of ancestors, memory, as the screen of their mind is projected on the golden flames. And that worked, you know, or perhaps there was a near-death experience where they're struck by lightning. So a lot of people feel that you have to take reality and throw it away and trust and use faith. These are like religious concepts into believing into an unknown in order for something to work. And I would say that's like a non-mystic's way. Whoever said a mystic is a non-believer? I think a true mystic is a non-believer, and then they have an experience that defies their beliefs, that challenges their beliefs. It blows them out of the water, shatters their reality, and it's like now they're living in a new state of consciousness. And so faith isn't required, belief isn't required, knowledge on one level isn't required, or not a lot of it. And so mystics, I think a true mystic is a trailblazer into unknown territories in any facet in life. Um, and a philosophy could be created out of the mysticism, out of the mystic experiences. And that philosophy is kind of like poetry. It points the way, but it's not literally it. But it is, but it's not. So there has a lot to do with essence. Poets, artists are in touch with the essence of life. That's like another layer of reality. That's like where the patterns emanate from. They're enchanted by the essence of beauty, the essence of perfection, the essence of awe. And nature is basically the veil of this essence. And like a skin, these patterns show up in all forms of life. And nature herself points the way and also veils it. And so we have a tendency to think that when I get to a certain level, I'm going to know. Or Western mindset thinks of the magician as being able to control these powers, to have them do what you want. When in reality, at the highest level of magic is a deep surrender, and you fall into the mystical path of the fool. So her madness may drive her into mystic states of ecstasy and vision and true transcendence. But it could also do the opposite and drive her into sanity and death. Whatever comes first. The body vehicle can only handle so much stress. And because it doesn't know the difference, because it's just objective, whatever you're feeding yourself psychologically and emotionally reactive, your body responds to it and creates those chemicals. I warned her. I said in roundabout way, you might as well die if you're not going to help yourself. If you're going to refuse to come back to earth, to come back to the material world. Yes, the flowers, the of the Elysium fields, yes, you can smell them. The glow of the angels, the light, the awe, it's very attractive to move into the other realms. But you're leaving your body behind. You're leaving your daughter behind. You're leaving your work behind. Oh, so subtly. You are being mystified by the lights in the other realms. And you don't know how to swim, and you don't have a roadmap, and you don't go back and forth. You're going to forget your anchor. You're going to forget your root chakra, your lower 3 chakras. So, magicians or shamans, they're a master of both realms. Einstein used dreams to solve, big mathematical equations and scientific theories. And then he comes back to reality, comes back to his job, and writes about it and approves or disapproves some random theory that may or may not get patented, or, he solves an equation, E equals mc squared. And so your mysticism could be art. Your mysticism could be education. You might be a student for life, and you get so wrapped up in studying, and studying is your hobby, and studying is your life, and you go so far off in one direction, you lose balance of the fullness of your life. And so, just like, in a marriage, if you get too involved with your kids, you neglect your partner, there's a divorce. You're out of balance. So a lot of times we find our meaning and our identity in maybe being a caregiver, you know, and then we end up neglecting the people closest to us. We sacrifice for our journey. But if you can't balance that, you lose your friends, your family, your partner, your money, your health, your time, your wealth. You die. So, where, this video kind of went in a different direction, but I feel like it really went a very good direction. I really wanted to talk about divine love and the mystic experience of that, but still wrapping up the past experience, recent past experience. We went down that road. Oh my gosh. So I want to move towards enlightenment. And are you truly awake? Have you woken up? Do you even need to wake up? Were you ever asleep? And are there really levels of enlightenment? And the answer is yes, 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 yes. And this does tie in to magic and psychic attack, because when your lower three chakras and your lower chakras are good for you, you know, it provides health, well-being, sexuality, it provides energy, amusement, entertainment, joy, connection. The lower three chakras provide you everything you could ever need in this world. So this is kind of the last statement about you're seeking outward and upward for the things to help you in this realm, and all of those things are found in your lower three chakras. Everything that we equate with psychic abilities and the third eye and the crown chakra is actually found in your third chakra. Everything we equate with the heart chakra is in your second chakra. And everything we equate with the transcendent states, in its reverse form, sacred sexuality, is found in combination with your root chakra and your second chakra, and I would dare say third chakra. So literally everything that the mystics have wrote about, everything is found in these lower three chakras. And then it's every once in a while that we get to tap these other chakras in various degrees, but there is no foundation for them. It's short-lived experiences. You need another plant medicine. You need another ritual. You need more purification. You need all these things. And all those things are signs that the development isn't there yet. So be patient, enjoy the journey. So, as it applies to psychic and magical protection, when you are transcending actually into the heart, which is the quantum field in a way, no time, and it's also unity consciousness is here in the heart, because the masculine feminine polarities are united in a mystic romance, in love, and in understanding and in oneness. And through the development, the fertilizer of the heart, the spiritual roots can take root, and the tree of life can truly bloom for you. A side effect from upgrading yourself, getting out. So there's polarities in these chakras. For all that is good, the opposite is well. So if you're prone to psychic and magical attack, your second chakra is probably out of balance, and it's a misuse of empathic, energetic connection with others. So if you have a tendency to take people home with you and dream about them, it's second chakra abuse. And you take responsibility and develop that relationship with yourself better. But anyways, sounds a little harsh, but when you start moving into the heart chakra, you level up energetically. People who don't want to live in love, in openness, in freedom, and in a timeless space of oneness, they kind of drop off. And literally speaking from my own experience, hanging out in my heart chakra, doing my pillow meditations, I am operating on myself to crack open my own heart. As I do this, I watched like 4 copper nails from the astral plane like energetically remove themselves. I saw all these pins that were stuck in my bed. And so it was like all this voodoo from the past, like all these past curses that people have secretly done, consciously or unconsciously, in their own thoughts and feelings towards me, because, I'm just a mirror, uh, were being undone. Because that's just what happens. The you're ascending the lower planes. They can't hold on to you. You're doing the inner work. So when you become a warrior of peace, when you understand the divine mind is a peaceful mind, when you, let's see, let me look at my notes over here. Peace. Oh, and love. Peace is the mind of the universe. Love is the sustainer of the world. So love has to do with earth. Love has to do with sustaining life. And that was like the channel message that came in this morning. I would like to call that, I relate that very much with Vishnu. And basically, I was folding laundry and, the awareness came to me that, it was basically, I am the sustainer. And who is this I am? Vishnu. And who is this Vishnu? Love. Love sustains the creations created in the mind of God. And the mind of God is peace. It's an all-knowing, all-embracing mind. So what can it do but create what? It's peaceful. There is no question, so there's no anxiety, there's no worry, and there's no stress in the mind of God. And what is love for then? It's to sustain, to support the life form, the image, the creation. And so, of course, we're working with heart chakra. And what is it doing? It's sustaining me. It's a automatic psychic shield. It's an automatic hex release. It's has nothing to do with stories anymore. Has everything to do with learning to receive the love, learning to love oneself and appreciate oneself. And when you really start doing that, the power, the psychological power of stories told by other people, myths, superstitions, and their evil intentions start to peel off. They shed layer by layer. And it was like I literally watched all these evil intentions from unconscious people remove themselves naturally. I mean, that's what happens when you go out into the world as a divine being and you're mistaken every day as them. So we are a channel. And I really like a channel. Channel is like a crystal, and any color you can shine through it. So and it will assume that color. Energy or waves, frequencies, you can adjust your frequency and channel that. You can channel love. You can channel wisdom. You can channel healing. You can channel an archetype, a saint, a guru, a deity. You can channel masculinity. You can channel femininity. All of it without a name. All of it in a weird way without an ego. You can just choose to dial in and channel. And so I feel like a true mystic, a true wizard is just a channel of what? Hopefully the divine. So that's just kind of what happens when you learn to change the station of your life. The abuse ends. Like, I don't believe in fear. False evidence uh false evidence appearing real. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in fear. I don't subscribe to it. I don't believe in other people having power over me. And when I choose these beliefs over those beliefs, I reset the dial. And I've already had an experience with the divine mind and my higher self and my angel. And that just didn't happen mysteriously. It was a work in progress of learning to change the channel. I wanted it for myself. I deserved it for myself. I changed the channel by removing toxic people out of my life, by reading spiritual books, by meditating, by praying, by doing all these things. It was a simple direction. It was like the more negativity thrown at me, the more I went, ow, that kind of hurts. And the obvious solution is I want to feel better. Well, let's compare. People who think positive, people who believe in positive things, of empowering things, tend to do better in life. It was a no-brainer. It was a healthy decision to keep substances out of my life, or if ever used, at a minimum, within, so balance, you know? And it seems like everyone who's having serious problems is seriously out of balance. So I think the video is pretty much done, and we got the message. Level up, ascend, live in oneness. It doesn't mean love and light and